Hey all, Dwarflord here. This is my hardcore Blizzard Sorceress, almost level 94. Really basic stuff. Tal chest, 200 form gold nowadays. Tal amulet, 100 form gold on hardcore. A lot of the items here, this is just basic run-of-the-mill stuff that you could find on your own. Does it have value? Absolutely, but not a ton. So we're basically calling this a 300 form gold sorceress. But if you're going to sell it all, maybe you'd get 600 or something. It's really not like godly, okay? But I'm at the point where I'm ready to maybe spend a little bit, spend a little bit of that pocket money and upgrade. Do I upgrade to a fire sorceress, a lightning sorceress, and spend a lot on either of those characters? Or do I just spend a tiny little bit and upgrade to an even stronger cold sorceress? So I'm putting it to the test. Blizzard versus fire versus lightning, and specifically we're doing Nova. I'm going to show the builds while we're doing a cow run. So I'm going to compare these three builds in cows, pits, chaos, and Baal. Cows is just all the same type of monster, high density, chunky. Pits, varied monsters, high density, lower health, not so chunky. And then we're going to be looking at chaos, which is high density, medium and high health, varying resistances, and a boss at the end who doesn't have a ton of health or resistances. And then Baal runs, which is boss waves coming out at a interval where some builds can preemptively drop attacks waiting for those enemies and other builds can't, i.e. Nova can't do that, followed by a high health, high resistance, hard to kill boss, Baal. Heart of the Oak, Night Wings, Spirit, nice crafted amulet, Enigma, Frostburns, 2 Stone Jordans, Iraq, GG Tri-Resist boots, still a little bit of magic fine with the Geeds. We've got a Torch, Annie, Mana and Life Charms, Cold Sunder, and Lifers, along with a Energy Shield, Call to Arms. All in all, this character would be roughly, depending on how expensive you really want to make it, 5 to 10,000. The Enigma is not super necessary. You could do this even a bit more scaled down budget, like 3 to 4,000, 2,000. You don't have to spend a lot to make a Blizzard Source really, really strong. You could skimp out a little bit on the lifers, use even plain charms. This sorceress does 10,000 damage Blizzard. However, even a 300 form gold Tau Rasha sorceress can do an 8,000 damage Blizzard without really any skillers or a torch. So the damage of this character is not outstanding. This is an energy shield build. You could have like a 18,000 damage Blizzard if you really wanted to go crazy. This is our Infinity Wielding Sorceress, so we're using a low strength Infinity for the minus lightning resist. We've got faceted Griffins, faceted Viper Magi. We have a nice crafted necklace here. Mage Fist, 2 soldiers in Iraq, GG Tri-Resist boots, Torch Annie, a lot of lightning lifer charms here, and skiller lifers with the same Call to Arms Energy Shield staff on switch. This is a 95% energy shield build, so we have the vast majority of points into energy. This sorceress is probably 20 to 25,000 form gold. This is our fire sorceress, boasting about an 18,000 damage fireball, 35,000 damage meteor. This is an energy shield build as well, however it's not a full 95%, it's like a 60 some odd percent. Heart of the Oak, Enigma, Flickering Flame, really nice necklace, needs 15% FCR. Phoenix Monarch, Tri-Res boots, SOJ and FCR ring, Iraq, Mage Fist. Sunder and Geeds, Lifer Skillers, Torch, Annie, Life Resist, Mana Life Charms, and that same Call to Arms Energy Shield Staff on Switch. This sorceress, 25,000 to 30,000 form gold, because keep in mind we have the Infinity as well. So just a quick comment on the cow run now that we're done going over the gearing of the characters. Nova clearly was the winner in the cows. Nova's great at just doing consistent AoE damage in a circle around your character, whereas Blizzard hits a lot of damage in some spots, no damage in other spots, but as the mobs move through it, it's a really good killer. And Fireball, it explodes, but every now and then there's a stray cow, and with the Blizzard and Fireball, sticking around to kill those is not always the fastest, most efficient thing, whereas with the Nova, everything dies. So just worth saying. And we see that here as well. With Nova, the bottom left, teleport, and you just kill everything. Whereas with Blizzard, you drop a Blizzard, and maybe the Fallen are just going to run all over the place. And when there's just a couple monsters left, Blizzard is not good. Blizzard's not very efficient at killing just a few monsters, just the way that it deals damage. Similar with Fireball, you teleport on top of a group, boom, 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 you kill what you can. If there's a couple stray monsters, it might not be worth your time to kill it. And here we are. Our Nova Sorceress is about to finish the run. And it's done. Fire was not too much longer after that, but it was actually the slowest. Fire was the slowest, but only by a little. All right, the winner here might just surprise you, but I'll tell you why, and then it won't be such a surprise. So, top left, we got Blizzard dropping Blizzard bombs on these high health, high density packs. Now, I started each Chaos run in the same spot, which is basically the 3 wings. I didn't clear any of the other parts, so we're just trying to keep the Chaos runs as similar as possible. As always, sometimes with Blizzard, we have to skip some monsters. You saw I skipped that single Balrog. Like, I'm not going to kill that single Balrog. We're going for speed here, mostly elite sniping and killing as much as we can around. Skip a couple guys there with Blizzard, skip a couple guys there down the bottom with Nova. We're killing what we can, but skipping some stuff. Fire, let's pay attention to the fire a little bit. We're making pretty decent work, but as you see, fire is actually lagging behind a bit, and I think part of it is because of the resistances. What? Blizzard? Already? On Diablo? That's because there's not a lot of cold resistance in Chaos. Blizzard's really good in Chaos. But Nova was not far behind. And then, still an acceptable kill rate, we have Fire finishing it up. Now, Fire kills Diablo really fast. Like, Fire's a really good boss killer. Dropping those meteors, and you just blast a couple statics and fireballs. Baal runs, the pièce de résistance. After this, we're going to analyze the builds, their strengths, their weaknesses, as well as just different gear setups that are a little bit cheaper, but maybe just as good. So here's wave 2. Nova made real quick work of it. Fire a little slower because they spread out. And Blizzard lagging behind the most. Nova's got the statics going, and fire's got those meteors dropping. Fire and Nova are pretty well neck and neck right now. Blizzard, you can see, still working on wave 3. It's not horrendously slow by any means. I was a little bit distracted and I wasn't pre-casting meteors, I don't think. Actually, no, there I was. But anyways, fire lagging behind just a tiny little bit. But the race is not over yet. Staticking, followed by Novas on the minions of destruction. Dropping some meteors for fire's minions of destruction. Now, these guys are more fire resistant, so it takes a wee bit longer for fire to kill them. Again, this is player's 8. He's crushing it. All these builds are crushing it. But we're looking for the best. Now, here's where Nova struggles. And you know this. Boss killing and Nova is not their strength. I totally got jebaited with fire on the clone there, but now we're blasting Baal. And Baal's, oh no, that was the clone. I got jebaited a second time. I thought that was the real Baal. All right, now Baal's dead for reals. So had I not gotten jebaited by the clone, fire would have been even faster. Fire is great for killing bosses. Can Nova kill Baal? Absolutely. It just killed Baal, but it was kind of painful. And then Blizzard finally working their magic, killing Baal. Like, all of these builds are good, don't get me wrong. But let's get into the build discussion and analysis. All right, let's talk about the pros and cons of each build. We'll start with Blizzard. Blizzard is cheap. It's kind of got that built-in infinity with the Cold Mastery. You can do really high damage on a really inexpensive sorceress. A full Tau source, not even with a sorceress torch, just stuff you find. Random charms, random rings, and so on and so forth. You could do a 7,000 damage Blizzard. Very close to the 9,000 damage Blizzard in the video. You wouldn't be as tanky as the Blizzard sorceress in the video, but you can do the damage. Cheap. Cons. The way that Blizzard does damage. Check out this slow motion Blizzard cast, and I'm going to put red circles each time one of the Blizzard particles lands. You might have never done this. You might not know the damage profile of Blizzard, but this is the reason why sometimes you cast that huge hammer of a Blizzard on a little fallen who has no health at all, and it doesn't kill him because he's just running around having a gay old time, and your Blizzard completely misses him because he's standing in the safe spots, which it's just random. So sometimes Blizzard kills everything, and sometimes you're like, why is nothing dying? So as you see, what forms is 3 lines, kind of on an angle. We get a bit of a rhombus sort of formation, and this is, I believe, not random, because I cast Blizzard many, many times in a row, and it always ended in the same location. Started in the same spot, ended in the same spot. Maybe the middle is random, but I didn't take the time to do this with multiple Blizzards because it's a bit of a pain. But I think Blizzard does the same each time, but there are holes, if that makes sense, where damage won't be done, and sometimes a monster will be running around in the Blizzard and not take damage. Nova. Pros. Top tier consistent AoE telestomping damage. It doesn't leave mobs behind. Sometimes you use Blizzard and there's like those 2 monsters left, and it's just not worth you waiting the 2-second cooldown to cast another Blizzard, and maybe they're missing. So Blizzard and Fire, sometimes you leave some monsters behind. Nova, that really doesn't happen. More monsters killed, more items dropped. Cons to Nova. Poor single target damage. You know, it's okay versus Diablo. It's not great versus Baal, though it's a similar kill speed to Blizzard for Baal. It's the most difficult to counter the Sunder, I think, because you aren't wearing a shield with the particular setup we're using here. So resistances and FCR are really tough to get, and you're relying on expensive charms to counter the Sunder. But it is kind of cool that you can go 95 ES with that build. Fire. Pros. Good AoE. It's not top tier, but it's like really good similar AoE. Best single target. Meteor, fireballs with infinity and all that good stuff. You're going to blast Baal down. You can put 1 point into enchant to help lobies, and when you enchant your Heart of the Oak, looks pretty cool. Sunder is easily countered with a fairly cheap rune word of Flickering Flame. Can have a godly expensive version or a cheaper version using things like Viper Magi and Maras. Cons for both the Fire and the Nova Sorceress. It's a little tougher with the expensive setups to have a lot of magic find. You really need to use something like Enigma or a Towel Chest or a Scalders, something like that to get a lot of magic find on these builds. And so you'd have to maybe have a magic find setup. But anyways, cons of the Fire. The meteor delay can take getting used to. What I do is I meteor one part of the pack and I fireball the other pack, or if there's like two split packs, you know, I'll drop a meteor on one pack and fireball the other one, and they'll kind of die at the same time. Also, fire covering the screen can be a little bit annoying for physically seeing loot on the ground. It's a bit cluttered. Alright, so I hope you found this video helpful. I think I've made the decision of what I want to make, and it is the Fire Sorceress. For a few reasons. I played a lot of Nova in the other season, and I want to play something new. It's clear to me that Fire is still very similarly good to Nova. I think Nova is a bit better in some things, but I like to do Baal runs, and struggling on Baal with Nova is not fun. Helping people level up with a 1 point enchant, I just think the build looks cool. It's got the cool auras. I think Fire is the new hotness, and I also kind of want to make a Dragon Tail Assassin. And guess what a Dragon Tail Assassin uses? Pretty much all the same items that a Fire Sorceress uses. So if I can make 2 characters for the price of 1, that's a no-brainer to me. Granted, the price of 1 is going to be probably about 10 or 15,000 for him gold, but hey, I've got 75,000. Might as well spend a bit, huh? Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you like what you saw, please like and comment below. I will respond to you. Or check me out on Twitch. I am streaming now. Dwarf Lord TV. Dwarf Lord out.